All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for showing up in such great numbers. So this is the idealo stage, and our next speaker is from idealo. So literally, this will be his home stage. And it is Erik Meierhoff. He is head of B2B. He has been responsible for the strategic and operation development of the B2B business since last year. Erik has been dealing with digital business processes in the B2B2C area for more than 15 years, so he's quite an expert. And already during his studies, he worked in e-procurement in the chemical industry. And after his Masters of Political Science, he worked throughout the entire digital ecosystem, from startup to small and medium-sized companies. And one of his special interests is the focus on the change from a click-based traffic model to a transaction-based platform model. So that will be something very interesting. His speech specifically, he will give us an overview of the German e-commerce market, because these guys have a lot of data on their hands. Over 1 million visits per day makes idealo the biggest intermediary in the e-commerce sector, and thus they have a lot of data. And another very important or very impressive fact is 330 million offers at idealo from 50,000 merchants and over 2 billion updates per day. And Erik will dive into this data pool to showcase the current status of the German e-commerce market, and he will sketch out opportunities for you guys, how to ensure growth in 2018. So, big round of applause for Erik Meierhoff.
Hello, everybody. Pretty exciting intro. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's good to be here. And as Hannes already said, I will go a little bit into what the e-commerce market in Germany is about now. And first of all, I want to know, as this is quite an international conference, who's German? Okay, maybe half. Who knows Amazon? Ah, even less. I'm wondering. Who knows idealo? Ah, that's good. Cool. Okay, so I will first jump a little bit into some numbers about the German e-commerce market, and I'm sure you have read tons of studies and articles and what the typical consultants tell you and us every day. So most of the stuff I will show you today is based on two sources. One source is the idealo data vault. I will come to that a little bit later. And the second one is, and I'm not paid for that, is we stated also here, we are in a strong partnership with a fantastic company called SimilarWeb. And we get a lot of market insights from them. So this is mostly the two sources I'm talking about today. So, and following here in this case, SimilarWeb, this is the share of traffic, of page impressions on desktop and mobile in Q4, meaning last Christmas season in Germany. And no surprise here, Amazon is by far leading with 1.4 billion PEs the market. Then comes eBay, then comes long time nothing, then comes Otto, then comes idealo, then comes a little time nothing, then comes Zalando, Real, and Rakuten. When we are looking into this typical platform business where nowadays everybody is looking to. So this gives you a little bit of insights where everybody is standing at the moment, or was standing in Q4 in the most heavy shopping period in Germany last year. And when you compare it with a year before, you see, and of course I have to say something good about idealo, you see that even Amazon is extremely, on its extreme big size, is growing tiny bits. eBay is growing a little bit. And very fascinating, Real and Rakuten are growing as well. So do idealo. But Otto and Zalando are not that much on a growth perspective anymore. So this is also very often overseen. It's not only about top or bottom line numbers in the revenue aspect, but also about growth. And this means growth in awareness and reach, and there is a huge difference between the big players. Why do we know all this, or why do I tell you a lot of things about that? And Hannes was so kind already to tell you a little bit. We do not only this now, idealo, for 18 years. We have not only around 750 people sitting in Berlin now, but we have 16 million unique visitors per month, with around 40 million visits, so they come regularly. Most of our traffic is direct, so we really know our customers quite well. We are very active also on the app market, and with this we are the fourth biggest e-commerce website in Germany, just to make a little advertisement about idealo. And what Hannes also mentioned already, we get this massive data, and this is just German numbers. We are active in 6 markets, so the European numbers would be quite kind of more impressive. We aggregate really the whole German market. We have Amazon and eBay as our biggest customers, of course. We have Zalando, we have Otto, we have everybody. We have Erik's TV store, 24.eu, whatever. So every mom and pop shop is on idealo, kind of. And this is a fantastic situation where we are in, because we really know how the market develops and what are the, let's say, the relations between the movements in the market, which is kind of fascinating for us. And this is what I want to share with you today. Oops. Of course, when we talk about German e-commerce market, we must talk about Amazon. Amazon just revealed their 2017 numbers, so the media is full with Amazon. I do not want to annoy you with the typical stuff. And some of you already know Amazon, so I'm happy. I don't have to explain everything about Amazon. But Amazon is massive in Germany. Everybody knows that. And as Amazon is a key partner from idealo as well, we made some efforts to show you a little bit about our relation with Amazon, and therefore the relationship from the Germans with Amazon. What I'm jumping over is Amazon is by far the biggest, although it's a tiny slice here, the biggest traffic resource for Amazon. But we know from idealo, we know that 96% of our idealo users are Amazon users. And 48% are Amazon Prime users. And then you think about yourself, okay, we all heard this. Amazon is so massive, so huge, and all the customers love Amazon. But still today, the people are coming to idealo to compare prices. They do not automatically, because they know Amazon, they use Amazon, they are even Amazon Prime members with 48% on the idealo customer base. They do not automatically go to Amazon. They still, even the Germans, the nasty German consumer who is really difficulty, they even like other things than just the price or other things, and I will show you later on why. I think it's a public number, or if I refer to the numbers you can get out of SimilarWeb, which is a public tool, if I just follow those numbers, only 30% of idealo traffic in Germany goes to Amazon. Which means, although 48% of our customers are even Amazon Prime members, and depending on the study you just read during the last 2 weeks, how big is the market share of Amazon, especially the idealo crowd, the idealo consumers, are not really heavy Amazon spenders per definition. And when you look at Amazon, and when we look at Amazon, and everybody can do the same, for us it's probably a little bit easier, we see that around a third of our lead outs, meaning, it's a typical idealo term, I guess, lead out means a click which happens on idealo which leads to another page, in this case Amazon. Around 30% of all the lead outs, the clicks which guide to Amazon, are leading out to foreign Amazon marketplace sellers. So as I asked you before, who's German, who's not, if you haven't been evaluating this, good advice, evaluate Amazon as a selling place, because it's a real German habit, or the positioning of Amazon here in Germany is already in a sense that the Germans appreciate the non-German sellers there and the inventory they are bringing to Amazon. And when you go one level below that, we see that, at least following our numbers, 7 of the top 10 German Amazon marketplace sellers are coming from foreign countries as well. So another good story, or another good idea, if you're coming from foreign countries, Amazon seemed to have a knife setup to offer you a good service with which you can fascinate or win the German consumers. And this, for me and my colleagues, was the most interesting and astonishing thing we recognized when we look. I asked who is familiar with idealo. So we started as a price comparison site, and similar to Google, you see, you search for something, you get a result page, which is called on our side offer of product page, and then you see the top 10 of this product ranked by price. This is idealo unique. It's always ranked by price. You cannot buy position at idealo. And normally, and I will show this later, most of the clicks are going to the top positions beside Amazon. Even if Amazon is on position number 9 on our top 10 overview about a product, iPhone 10, place 1, place 2, place 3, whatever, Amazon is in average performing on place 9 as the average seller is doing on place 3. So they seem to have a kind of brand, at least here in Germany, which leads the people to really look for them, browse through it, and okay, not best price, but still okay price, I will go for Amazon. This is something good and bad. If you want to partner with Amazon, you can participate. If you compete with them, maybe you're in a difficult situation. And another interesting question when it's come to this brand performance, what we call it, how good is either you're a big retailer like MediaMarkt or Otto or Zalando, you have built up a big, strong brand already in Germany, or if you're a local mom and pop shop, there's always this, today I would call it a myth, that the people are really looking into the brand very strongly, and in most cases we found out it's not the case. And we really looked in all to the subcategories, in the niches, when there is not really, let's say, a strong Amazon presence as well. And we asked ourselves, in which categories are the merchants better placed in this brand performance aspect than Amazon? And the answer was, whoop, no. So this is really fascinating for Germany, like it or not. Amazon is really here in a position as a brand which outperforms, even over price, even with the price-sensitive Germans, outperforms most of even the famous brands here in Germany. So Amazon, being a price, or started as a price comparison site and know everything about prices in Germany, we thought, okay, so it must be about the price. Amazon is always the cheapest. And we looked into that as well. Maybe you have seen this already before. Who thinks Amazon is having the majority of the best price in the market? Please show hand. Okay, don't be so shy. Okay, it was not that many. We asked ourselves. We said, okay, cheapest price at idealo. Who? Wow. Okay. You should have thought about that. So Amazon is having a very tiny a share of the market, is having the best price of the items people are looking in Germany on idealo. When we combine Amazon Retail with Amazon Marketplace, it becomes a little bit better, but still our good friends from eBay, by price, outperform them in ways. And this is the rest of the market, so to say, which are shops which are not Amazon nor eBay. So it's true that the Germans are very price sensitive, and it's true that the price comparison market here in Germany is by far the strongest, and this is why we are so big. But we were astonished ourselves that there is no direct relation nowadays anymore between the price positioning and the attractiveness and the success of Amazon, at least according to our numbers. So this is also good news for every retailer who's always moaning and complaining about, no, I do not want to go into the price race, it does not make sense anymore. There seemed to be a way to overcome this. Probably not the easiest way, but there seemed to be a way. Coming back to the price. The positioning, as I explained, this is a little bit a mock-up of what a typical idealo site looks like. So you look for a product, you see the prices, you might have similar prices in the beginning or somewhere in between, but on idealo site everything is always ranked by price, always. So when we look into the positioning, and this is again an average across all categories, across complete idealo in Germany, and it therefore gives a little bit of insight about the German consumer mind. We see that roughly 50%, half of the clicks are going on position 1. So if you manage to become the cheapest, or as cheap as the next one, you made it to the attendance of roughly 50% of the people where they want to click. Then we have position 2, a huge gap already, position 3. So in a nutshell, around 80% of our clicks are generated in the first top 3 positions. And remember what I just said before, Amazon, in average, is performing on position 9 as the average merchant is performing in position 3. So there's really a huge difference. And yes, and the Germans still to say they're very price sensitive, but it's not only the price. And I'm afraid you cannot see it from behind because the setup cut off the bottom of the slide. There's on each slide stands, if you want to have the presentation, and you do not have to make too much pictures, if you want to have the presentation, just send an email to presentation@idealo.de and you will receive it. So just a little bit advertisement. So there must be more than the price, and there is. Good news. So if you look, 50% are going for the cheapest price, then you can also say only 50% are going for the cheapest price, which is a good news. Not 100%, not 80%. I think the presentation broke down a little bit. I see my colleague is already here. There should be, there should be standing something. Okay, so I'm trying to, not to tell a joke, but and don't be afraid, it's not only about Amazon or eBay or something like that, but to be real honest, it's really massive here in Germany. If you haven't been aware of that already, those 2 players are really massive here in Germany. So I think it makes sense to start there. If you look into the market, if you're coming from abroad and you look into the German market, I think you can do yourself a favor and really look into those categories or in those players first. Thanks, Tom. So, in which categories are pure players better than marketplaces? Because price is not the only important criteria. It's just 50%, so to say. And this is a little bit also what we found out on idealo's side. If you check idealo, especially on the desktop side, you see we found out over 18 years and over, I don't know, millions of A/B testing, whatever, multivariant testing, we found out what is really crucial, what is really important for the German people. It's, of course, the price, but it's also trust. So how reliable is this person? How many stars do the merchant, how many stars do they have? It's speed of delivery. It's not only about same day or 22 hours or whatever. It's really about 1 to 3 days. It's the most preferred in Germany. And but the people are willing to go for a worse price if it's faster. And payment methods also very important for Germans. The Germans, as most of you already know, love payment on invoice, love direct debit, elektronisches Lastschriftverfahren. And so they're really picking for that. They're not always going for the best price. It might be a good strategy to build maybe also another brand or another retail white label shop for you, just to test the waters with payment methods. Paying 1% more for payment on invoice on the payment transaction might evolve into a 2% uplift in the price, because the people are really looking for that. Not everybody. Everybody expects, at least on our side, PayPal, but people are really looking for additional payment methods. So there seems to be a loyalty with payment, which sometimes tops the price. And last but not that unimportant as well, return policies. So Zalando made a famous benchmark in the fashion industry. Amazon did it in the book or in the media industry with free shipping and free returns and something like that. So the people are really trained to that. In some categories and others, they are not that trained for that. But the people are looking to that and they're reacting on that. And if we don't show what is a return policy of this merchant, we feel that. We can see that in the numbers. Next aspect we want to share with you today is a little bit of the customer habits. So with idealo, as I explained a little bit already, we started as a price comparison site, and we will evolve into a site where you can directly purchase now. So we know also not only the information part anymore, but also the purchasing part. And we compared not only timing in the year, so you see a little bit about our experience on Black Friday, which was massive. So Black Friday is there in Germany to stay. I hope you felt it if you're already in Germany in your numbers as well. But we also looked at in different categories, not on the season in the year, but the season in the week. And we really found out, which is quite interesting, there are differences on a daily basis where people tend to look, where people tend to click, and where people tend to buy. And this is sometimes pretty similar and sometimes very different. So this is a category on idealo side, cars and motorcycles. And we see throughout the numbers, Monday is more or less an information day, and Sunday is buying day. And if you know this, and if everybody's talking outside on the boosters with dynamic pricing, repricing, whatever, personalization, I think it's quite interesting to look also into the day of the week. On baby and kids, it's another pattern we saw. Friday is the purchase day, and which is followed by Wednesday. So Wednesday information and purchase is pretty similar. Pharmacy is not, or FMCG is quite interesting. There's no real difference, which led us to the assumption that it's really about I want to have it now. There's no really difference between information, clicks, and purchase. The people are really looking into pharmacy and health on idealo side, which is mostly not real pharmacy, but nutrition, something like that. They want to have it now. And nothing I want to look into further, it's now. I will skip the other ones. As I said, you can have it, but I have only a few minutes left. For me, most surprising was pet supplies. I thought it would behave like pharmacy and health, but it's really Sunday is really buying time. So it makes probably sense. I have 2 cats. I can think about that. But if you know this, you better put this into your strategy as well. So I skipped this as well. You can get a lot of insights from us, but it's advertisement. So I just want to close with a little bit of insights about the customer, the German consumer in general thinks about the latest trends, because we made a fantastic survey. Beginning of the year, we shared this. What do German customers like, and especially about the data? And this is quite significant. Over 50% of the people we asked, they do not like the fact that the data they leave online is used to do something. And they're even sometimes very scared if they recognize that that companies do something, do personalization, dynamic pricing, retargeting, whatever. But, which is quite interesting and which is typical German, I would say as well, hey, if there's a bargain if somebody asks me, hey, I get offered attractive benefits, so not personalized benefit, but a deal, then I'm happy, kind of, or more happy. And the perception so far, what we as an industry did with this data and personalization is kind of okay. So most people say it's little or not relevant, but some even are feeling the relevancy, which is okay for our industry, I would say. What also interesting is we looked into this typical ROPO, return offline, purchase online, and way back effects. So there's still this habit that people are going to a local store even before they buy online. It's still there, and I think there's good news for multi-channel retailers. The people still appreciate that. Does it make sense? I don't know. But they do not trust that much the local stores. They seem to trust much more nowadays the online feedback they can get via reviews, quotes, and so forth. And especially, I do not want to be annoyed by a sales guy, which seems to work quite well in the internet. And we didn't stop at Alexa and the others, and looked into that as well as one of the trending topics. Do we have a smart home device? Most of the Germans still do not. But if they have one, They use it so far, if you look at the numbers, and again, you can have the presentation afterwards and look into it yourself. Mostly they use it as a speaker and as an kind of, let's say, telephone assistant, which they probably could have done with an iPhone 6 or Android 4.0 update anyhow, but the Germans seem to love the device. So that's, I think I made it in time. If you want to have this presentation, I skipped some slides and some comments I wanted to make just for the sake of time. Feel free to write us, presentation@idealo.de. You will automatically get our newsletters, which are full of interesting data as well. And if you want to have some good advice right now, either stop by the stage here and ask me, or go to our booth, which is down there. Thank you very much.